This is Day of the Departed, and this is the Chinese version of Day of the Departed. Let's talk about the Chinese version of Day of the Departed. Now, the Chinese version of Day of the Departed is something alright. Some of the scenes look like garbage, and the animation is not even like finished. So some of the scenes are kind of, outplaced in this special. And I mean, the Chinese version is very, very bad. But I do want to praise some things about the Chinese version of Day of the Departed. Starting off with the beginning scene. Now, I really love this scene because it shows all six main ninjas using their elemental powers against each other, which I really like. And of course, in the US version, we see, of course, the six main ninjas on the Ultra Stealth Raider and, of course, Zane and Cole's vehicles, which does include in the Chinese version, but much more different, and the animation is very very worse. But I just really like the beginning of the Chinese version of Day of the Departed with the ninjas using their elemental powers against each other. My second favorite thing about the Chinese version of Day of the Departed is, of course, when the villains come back to life and they get to talk to each other up close instead of just standing on the podium for some reason. And I kind of prefer the Chinese version over the US version because the Chinese version has all of the rogue villains together, while in the US version, they just talk among themselves far away on their podium, which is kind of stupid. And I prefer the Chinese version of them, of course, together instead of on top of a freaking podium. And finally, my third favorite about the Chinese version of Day of the Departed is, of course, the villain's deaths, because I really love the alternate deaths in the Chinese version than the US version because they're just funny and goofy and all. So starting off with Chen, after he died, his of course his spirit's just moving around and stuff, and I think it was alright. Simon Kai's death is probably one of the creepiest spirit deaths ever, and I kind of like that. Cryptos is just funny, where of course I think Zane pushed him and then Cryptor falls, and of course his spirit just I mean, it's kind of funny that of course that Cryptor was like that fragile. I mean, these are mannequins, possessed by of course the villains. And it's really funny how you just fall and die instantly, and then your spirit is like gone. But my favorite has to be Morals because it's just hilarious that after his spirit goes out, the mannequin just falls out with like a funny, of course, Lego sound effect. So in the end, the Chinese version of Day of the Departed has so many major flaws in this, and of course the animation in this Chinese version kind of lacks and kind of sucks because it feels like the animation was not finished rendering and stuff, and it kind of sucks in the end. But overall, some of the cool new scenes in this Chinese version of Day of the Departed is really cool, and I wish that we got in, of course, the US version. But at least we do get to see this, of course, in the Chinese version. But what do you guys think? Did you know there was a Chinese version of Day of the Departed? Let me know in the comments down below. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Happy Day of the Departed Day, because this is of course October 29th, which is of course the day that Day of the Departed came out. So yeah. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you guys subscribe, turn on notifications whenever I post a brand new video. And until then, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!